That's not cool. Oh, I hope there's not a cracked block. That is by far the most I've ever sold a car for. Also by far the most money I've ever made on a car. It went really well. I can't even fake it. It went awesome. I ended up selling the van for Welcome back to another episode of Broke From Here, guys. If you are new to the channel, we've been working on my 2005 Hyundai Tucson that I picked up for 700 bucks, and it has 136,000 miles on it. I got it that cheap because it needs a lot of work, clearly. It needs a door, needs some paint, needs a lot of little odds and ends inside the car, just little things here and there, nothing major. But mostly the head gasket has been replaced, and the guy thinks when he did it, he might have put the timing off because the engine will run, it just won't stay running. I had a clear view of that trying to get this thing home, kind of had to keep it on the gas, shift it from drive to neutral at every stop sign, keep revving the gas at about 2,000 RPM at least. Never stopped revving it. And then finally got it home, got it parked, and unfortunately the battery ended up dying, so right now it's trickle charging in the backyard now. So what I want to do today is actually head down to the junkyard and grab all the little pieces that I need. Now I've already gone around the whole car taking pictures of almost everything that I'm going to need. I do think I have a pretty clear list, but it's going to be a lot of connectors that, if you saw in the last episode, were just kind of broken and falling apart, like just deteriorating. There's a couple little things in here, just little covers to the seat belt, or I want to get the old original stereo in it. The old cigarette holder there is kind of busted. These plastics, like I said, just a lot of little odds and end pieces, nothing crazy or major at all. I do need a door. That's probably the only major thing. I'm definitely going to try to get that. So yeah, guys, my goal right now is to head down to the junkyard, try to get all those parts, then kind of see where we're at. Let's start driving. All right, guys, that was an epic fail. A lot of it's my fault. I didn't search the junkyard website before heading down there, so the only thing I could find was like 2 plugs. I think the crank sensor, it might fit this, might not. It looked like the same engine, but there was no Hyundai Tucsons at all in any of the 3 LKQ pick your part junkyards down there. I just kind of went inside and searched a little bit to see if there's any up in LA. There's 1 Tucson available in like, I think there's 12 or 15 LKQs out of LA. Maybe not that much. There's definitely 10, but 1 Hyundai Tucson was available. Kind of bummed. I'm already thinking this is going to be an expensive project, which I don't want to have. I don't think this car is worth it to make it expensive, so I'm kind of stuck in the middle right now. After just doing some research, I found some guys that have a small junkyard down there. They do their own, they pick them for you, bring the part up front, but that's going to get really expensive for something like that. Where this door would have costed me $50 at LKQ, it would cost anywhere from $90 to $140 at these places. That's a lot, and I have a lot of little things I need to get. I want to do this car under $1,000 completely after paying $700 and all parts, $1,000. So I don't know, we're gonna have to see. I'm kind of in the middle of how it's gonna go, but my goal for right now, what I would like to do is I would like to install those connectors that I got. I'm just gonna kind of snip the ends of the old ones, replace them, solder them in, put some shrink wrap back on them, call it a day. So that's my goal for right now. Let's get started. All right guys, it is the next day. I ended up finishing up all the wire harnesses. Everything sounded up nice. All the shrink wrap went on great. But today, the battery is finally charged. So my goal is to put the battery in, start the car up so you can finally hear how loud and obnoxious this thing is. Kind of see where I think it still might be at a time. But hopefully with some of the new connectors, maybe it's not so bad. So we'll find that all out probably in a few minutes here. So I'm gonna get started with that and I'll get back to you guys in a few seconds. All right, the battery's installed, so I want you guys to kind of hear how bad this thing sounds. It's a little rough, pretty loud, and I'm sure some of you are gonna immediately tell me the timing is off, which you're probably right. Let's check it out. Okay, well that's weird. I think my starter locked up. All right, I'm gonna try to find the starter quick, hit it a few times, and I'll get back to you in a few seconds. All right, I got it started. It's pretty loud, as I'm sure you can hear. Okay, there's a giant oil leak. Crap. All right, something's extremely wrong. There's a giant oil leak I never saw. So I'm gonna shut this thing down. That's not cool. Oh, I hope there's not a cracked block. So I don't know if you guys can see it in the screen. There's a big puddle of oil right there, and it was just spewing out of somewhere up here. So I don't know if there's any oil lines that run this way, or if I have a cracked block or a cracked head, or the head gasket's already leaking. I really don't know. Yeah guys, I'm gonna tinker with this a little bit more, try to figure out what that oil leak is. I don't even know where that came from. I'm very curious. I just busted something trying to hit the starter. I did see a little oil in the area before, but not pouring down. That's like a stream of oil. So I'm gonna check that out and I'll get back to you guys in a few. All right guys, I ended up taking a break. I think I showed you that endoscope footage. I think I found the oil leak. It looks to be out of maybe a coolant temperature sensor. That doesn't make sense though. So it must be some type of like engine temperature sensor or something. Basically where I fixed the harness last night besides the one on the cam sensor. So anyway, I think that's where the oil might be coming from, but I actually ended up running to the store and I grabbed a new flex pipe. Basically, I found out where the noise was coming from. The flex pipe is blown out and I want to at least just get this on so the car's not so obnoxious when I'm working on it. Yes, I have a Karen, but I'd like to not annoy just the rest of my neighbors. I get along with almost everyone else except her. So what my goal is right now is to put this thing on quick, and I got some of the U-bolt brackets. So what I'm gonna do basically is go underneath, cut out the old one, kind of measure where to put the new one, install a new one, and then I'll probably cut some slices down in here just to give it a little more grip and a little more squeeze as I do this. But that should fix the noise, at least the majority of it. There might be more, but that's at least what I know of so far. Also, I might have someone come in to check out the van in a little bit, probably like an hour and 15 if he does come. So I might need to cut this little short and then just run and do that. But I'll pick up at that moment if I do have to do that. So anyway guys, I'm gonna get started. I'll see you in a bit. All right, I think I installed the exhaust. It looks pretty good. It's definitely way better than the old one. In fact, I'm gonna show you quick how bad this was. You can kind of see the giant hole that was in this thing. So clearly it was blown out. It was just completely shot. So I'm actually gonna take this thing down, kind of wrap it up for right now. I do have a guy that's coming in 30 minutes, so I need to go inside, take a shower quick, meet him over at my usual location, hopefully sell the car. So I'm gonna get at that. Once I get back, I'm probably gonna still mess with the car a little bit. I think I might have found some of the leaks. I think it also needs a water pump. But before I do any of that, first I want you guys to hear the first start with me, see if this thing worked. All right, let's check it out. Way better. Still a little noisy. Yeah, the engine's noisy, but now I can at least hear it. All right, guys, I'm gonna pull this off the ramps quick, clean up, and then go meet that guy for the van. I'll catch up with you in a bit. All right, guys. I am back from trying to sell the van. It went really well. I can't even fake it. It went awesome. I ended up selling the van for $6,900. I am extremely happy. I had the van listed at $75, but immediately marked it down to $69.95. Guy showed up. He told me 69, right? And I said, yep. $6,900. Thought he would beat me down to $6,000, if not lower. So $6,900, super stoked. It went really well. I ended up having to bring his rental car back to his buddy's house, then him follow me back here. Then we exchanged the cash, title, all that. But it went really well. Really nice guy, really excited. I definitely didn't think I was gonna get that much. I thought I was gonna get around $5,000 for this thing, which would have made it not worth it. But instead, with 69, that is by far the most I've ever sold a car for. Also by far the most money I've ever made on a car. I thought originally I had like 2,100 into the car, and correct me if you guys notice, because I don't think I have the math wrong now, but I started redoing the math. I bought the car for 1,300 bucks. I put $300 worth of seats in. I put a $200 windshield in it. I'm up to 1,800. And then I paid $100 for the floor, like the floor and the brackets and everything, which is 1,900 bucks. And then I paid 15 bucks, or not even, I paid $10, $9 for the relay that I put in the TIPM. All said and done, I think I'm $1,909 into this car. What a good win. Feels so nice. I think I just made $4,991. Such a good win, such a good feeling. I'm feeling amazing. Such a great day. I really thought it was gonna be a waste and I was gonna make like $3,000 and go backwards instead of forwards. It's been a great day. But with all that said, guys, I do think that might wrap up this episode. On the next episode, I do want to try to order the water pump for this thing. And I think the oil is leaking, and I think you probably saw it in the little endoscope video I attached, but I think the oil is leaking from the temperature sensor that's in the block. And if it's not that, it might be leaking from the variable valve time sensor just above that temperature sensor. And if it's not leaking from those, then it's leaking from the head just below it. Hope it's not, fingers crossed. Really hoping I get away with just kind of relacing that temperature sensor and all of it going away. But as you heard, the exhaust sounds a lot better, a lot more quieter. I can kind of hear a little chain slap or something going on, so I do think it might be out of time. So we are going to check out that route. But yeah, all that's going to be in the next episode. I will probably be ripping off the valve cover and just going through everything, making sure timing's good. Definitely going to be taking off the timing belt cover to see if the water pump is completely shot, because I'm pretty sure it's seeping from the seep hole in the water pump. But anyway, guys, I think that is going to wrap up this episode of Broke Premier. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll catch you again on Thursday. Later, guys.